Hello, I'm Chancellor Makanjuola, and welcome back to the Frisco ISD podcast. We love showcasing students and staff who not only make our district shine, but are also flourishing in Frisco thanks to the unique opportunities available to them. Today, I'm chatting with Memorial High School sophomore Jacklin Wang, who's the president of the Young Investor Society Frisco chapter. Learn how she helps educate young people on the power of investing and why time is their best asset. And be sure to stick around after the podcast to hear the latest news happening around the district. Welcome, Jacklin.
Yeah, I'm super excited to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm Jacklin Wang, the founder of Frisco's chapter for Young Investor Society. So Young Investor Society is an international organization that unites all teenagers across the globe. So what we do is we advocate to start early, invest early, so that, people like us, teenagers, can hopefully achieve financial freedom one day.
Awesome. And what got you interested in investing and wanting to join Young Investor Society?
Actually, last year I participated in Young Investor Society's global stock pitch. So what they do is you pitch a stock, you choose a stock, create a team, and then you hopefully advance to their summit. So last year we went to Utah, which is really exciting. I went with my partner who was a president of another club, an investment club. And then we worked really well. And then I was super inspired by what YIS taught the students. We had lectures, and then we got to meet other mentors. And then I wanted to bring that inspiration that I received from Utah back to Memorial High School. So that's how it all started.
Oh, okay. That's nice. It's cool that you got to travel, go to Utah, and then come back too. So kind of describe that, how the formation of the Young Investor Society started at Memorial.
Yeah, so Frisco YIS was actually launched just 4 months ago.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
It's like last year on October 17th. I remember that day very clearly because I was so excited. I was like, I'm going to be a lecturer. I'm going to give my first meeting. And then that was all really exciting. And the thing is, 45 people showed up. And we've been able to maintain and grow to 50 members so far.
And consistently.
Consistently.
They're showing up to every meeting or usually.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And if they can't make it to the meeting, they're active through Google Forms that we send out for interactions and feedback.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. And describe, what are some of the things you all discuss in the Young Investor Society? What are some of the things that you go over?
So unlike most financial literacy clubs and investment clubs, what we dwell on as YIS is, Frisco YIS, the chapter that we have in Memorial High School, is the psychology behind accumulating wealth. So that means the mental processes, the behaviors that are associated with building a rich life or really creating a life full of prosperity.
That's a great thing to do, too. Yeah. And so how about, building discipline, too, with students when they're learning about money? Some might be working jobs or anything like that. In what ways are you helping them? Or in the club, do you all discuss, budgeting or anything like that?
So personal finance and, budgeting are typically topics that are covered in, investment clubs, financially literate clubs, all of those programs. What we've really focused on is planting the seed of why they should start. Since, we only launched 4 months ago, what we really wanted to solidify was a reason for them to stay and to continue to invest in their future. So by planting that seed, what I mean is first, why are they here? Why should they start investing early? And the answer to that is that by leveraging the age that you're 15, 16, 17, is that you have so much more time until you plan for until you retire. And retirement is something that most kids don't even imagine about right now because our priorities are mostly academics, studying for our next exam, probably getting a job. But then a retirement account, which I've actually had since I was the age of 9.
Wow.
Yeah, my mom started it for me at that time because my parents, they owned a Chinese restaurant. They had a chain of Chinese restaurants at the time. And then I was their paper shredder.
Aww.
Yeah, for their financial documents. I shredded documents for them, and then I was basically employed.
I know, I was about to say, this is your first
My
job.
My first job was shredding papers. I was what's funny was Mom, when is this over? But the thing is, what I didn't realize at the time was that was like a monumental moment that truly started my journey to achieving financial literacy.
That's great. And so also you mentioned the psychology of like, you know, money and what you're teaching students too, but are you all getting to like the nitty gritty details of things like learning about the stock market and anything like that, how to open up a retirement account or how to, I don't know, like just open up a savings account if they don't even have one, like how do they do that? So in more detail, what do you all discuss?
So for our first couple of meetings, what we focused on were like community service because like I said before, we're social impact driven. So we tried to find ways to, you know, gather fundraisers, start fundraisers. And that's part of financial literacy, really. Like not exactly create a business, but create an event where you can get some crowdfunding from people, right, to pursue with your initiatives. So that was our first task. And then now what we do is encourage people to do a $1 a day challenge. So $1 a day challenge is a program initiated by our international organization to have students invest $1 every single day just for 1 month. So that's $30. Not too much. It's manageable, right? So that actually starts creating the habit of cutting back on just one Starbucks drink, or maybe, I mean, that's usually $4, right? So cutting back on one Starbucks drink a week and then saving that money aside and investing it into what's called a custodial brokerage account. So it's not a savings account. It's sort of like an account where you can start investing and then you have your parent as the operator for now until you're 18, right? And then after that, you can take care of your own finances. But really, the $1 a day challenge is creating the habit of just cutting back on that one soda or Starbucks drink and investing it into your future.
That is a great challenge to do, too, because I'm pretty sure, like, you know, one thing people don't realize, it's the small things that add up.
Exactly.
So, yeah, and then at the end of the year, they're going to have at least a couple $100 saved up. So that's a good thing for them. And because you've started this young investor society at your campus and you're just only in the 10th grade, which is very impressive, like to be the president of a club like at this age. So where do you see it going even after you graduate? Is there a plan in place for like other people to follow after you, even though you all are still very new? I just want to know, like, long-term thinking, is this something that you would hope stays at Memorial? And then if you're training anybody up underneath you to hopefully take the mantle one day?
Yeah, so the thing with financial literacy is that it transcends language and cultural barriers. And so because there's not that cultural barrier expanding in the future, like if I go to college, you know, I would start, you know, a financial literacy club there too, because it's not, financial literacy is not limited to high school students, college students, or even adults. Like that is the magic of it. It's like you can target anybody because at any point in your life, there's always room for you to just keep on adding those layers to become more financially literate. Because at different points of your life, there's different focuses, right? So when I go to college, I can start, you know, my own financial literacy program there. And then when I leave high school, I hope that I'll leave like that seed for my officer members currently to carry on the legacy.
Amazing. And because you mentioned college, that was leading into my next question. What are your future career goals? Like, what do you plan to study in college, and like, what do you hope to eventually pursue as a career?
So this is a far reach. This is a far reach, but we have to dream big in order to get somewhere, right? So my dream school would be UPenn, their Huntsman program. Since I'm bilingual, I grew up, you know, in a Chinese household. And I also did I went through bilingual school since I was like in kindergarten. So I did like many, many years of Chinese and English. So Huntsman program is like, you know, a program for people who can leverage on the fact that they speak more than one language. And it's mostly involved with international business. So that is something that I really, really enjoy. When I was talking about financial freedom, I was talking about, you know, traveling to your dream destinations, right? Now, I love traveling. And that's like one of the awards or like rewards that I hope to achieve when I do become financially literate. So being involved in international business and becoming financially literate and becoming financial free, all of that kind of ties together because those are my shared values. Like they connect, each piece connects to each one. And I just hope that the passion that I have for my future and to inspire others will help me to get where I want to go.
Amazing. And I hope too. Like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, like, you seem very driven, and I just can tell you're going to do great things.
I really hope so.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us for this podcast.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Now stay tuned for the latest updates from around the district.
Here's a look at news from around the district. Enrollment for the upcoming 2024-25 school year is now open. If you have a little one starting kindergarten, or if you're joining Frisco ISD for the first time, head over to friscoisd.org and click on the New Student Enrollment button to find out how to register your child for classes starting this fall. For families with returning students, keep an eye out for an email in the spring with instructions on confirming your attendance for the next academic year. Huge congratulations to the Reedy High School girls swim team and the Wakeland High School boys swim team for clinching the gold at the 5A Region 3 Championships. Frisco ISD is cheering on all of the talented swimmers as they gear up to represent our district at the upcoming UIL State Swimming and Diving Championships. Best of luck to these athletes as they prepare to compete. And lastly, Frisco ISD is home to 14 students who achieved the highest possible composite score on a single SAT or ACT